Guys, a huge new Chapter 7 key art just came out from Fortnite, revealing so much about Chapter 7, but also a ton about the upcoming storyline. And guys, just in a nutshell, this is going to be absolutely insane. So this is legitimately one of the craziest days we've had leading into a new chapter. I'm not gonna lie, just because of how much was revealed in one simple image. Fortnite just dropped a single image, one single thing, and the entire community, especially the lore community, is losing their minds right now. Hopefully you guys will be as well at the end of this video, because I am absolutely hyped. I apologize if the visuals are a little not very good in this video, because I just want to get this out as quickly as possible, but this isn't some random leak. This is official key art posted by Fortnite. This is the first real look at Chapter 7, and it's already bigger, it's darker, and way more lore heavy than anything we have gotten for Chapter 5 and maybe even 6 as well. 0 Hour is literally happening in about 4 days, and this image already has more story in it than some entire seasons, in my opinion. We've got new POIs here. We have, of course, the entire battle pass, the Sevens logo hidden in the UI, a mysterious golden figure in the middle that resembles the Dark Voyager, and apparently is going to be called the Traveler, which we will get into, possibly a corrupted Seven member, and some people out there are already connecting this to the Scientist and the Visitor returning. This video is going to break everything down: the story implication, the battle pass skins, the weapons, the cameos, the corruption theory, even Ninjago being hidden in here, literally all of it. Seriously, if this is one teaser image, I can't imagine what the final event is going to be like and what Chapter 7 throughout all of these seasons is going to be as well. So buckle in, you guys, because this is going to be insane. So right away, you guys, this shot is basically someone standing inside some kind of command center or ship, looking at 6 different feeds. And based on the top right here, I assume that this is probably the last reality, but more obvious is that he has a golden cube in his helmet, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Each feed around him shows what's possibly a different POI, biome, or group in Chapter 7. We kind of see some tropical stuff. We see a building that looks like Fletcher Kane's kind of golden thing on the wall. We also see these 2 characters that don't really show us very much up there. It looks like they're standing maybe below some type of train thing. We see the full map directly below this character, which we can't see. We see Marty McFly in the top right. It looks like the clock tower, maybe some type of new version of Neo Tilted is going to be returning. And then we also see just kind of this suburban little area in the bottom right, which I think is pretty cool. All of these battle pass skins look awesome. I know a lot of people said that they didn't really like it. I'm not a big fan of the bottom right ones, but everything else I really do like. I love Marty McFly. I love the lion skin. The bride looks very good as well. But the person in the center, the main event of this, the golden helmet suit, that is who everyone is officially calling, and I believe this is official name because a creator came out and said that it was his name, is the Traveler, which I think is absolutely awesome. It sounds like a 7 name. It sounds like somebody that would be involved with protecting the 0 point, but he has the golden cube in his helmet. So who exactly is this guy? But the entire environment looks like some kind of advanced pod with holographic controls, and what instantly caught my attention was how advanced and almost alien all the UI elements look. Every single screen looks like it's glitching, static, interfering with something, like something is actively messing with communications. That already tells me the island is going into chaos. And when Fortnite actually tweeted this themselves, they said the island has a new problem, a big one. They're not being subtle. Whatever this is, it's connected to 0 Hour. We are probably going to see this guy in 0 Hour. And if you guys don't know, a new clip for the event actually came out where Hope is like, wait, who's piloting that thing? I believe we are actually going to see this guy. And in some way, maybe he or somebody else is going to take us to this new island. Or who knows? Maybe this still is the Chapter 6 map just kind of reformed. Because as we can see in the bottom right, there are some ships and some pods here as well that look very similar to the Visitor as well as the IO. What's absolutely insane is how interesting Fortnite can make the lore just by saying one thing. They said the Fortnite island has a new problem, a big one, and people are going absolutely insane. Like I said, just from one image has blown up the community. The biggest part of this image is obviously the Traveler. Fortnite didn't really try to hide his name. Creators who saw, early confirmed his code name is literally the Traveler. This confirms he's important. This isn't just another battle pass skin. Fortnite does not give random skins their own dramatic reveal inside a ship like this looking all ominous. His suit is gold with glowing energy lines, which is interesting because this isn't chrome. It's not cube purple. It's not 0 point blue. It seems like something new entirely, which goes to show, and if you guys don't know, the golden cube is actually the most powerful out of all of them. And this guy is controlling it. Maybe he's taken over by it. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like in some way he may have dominated over this. He's something way more powerful than what we've seen in the past. But something that I also want to bring up, and I brought this up on Twitter, is how familiar this looks to me. And if any of you guys are thinking this looks like the Dark Voyager from Chapter 1, season 3, I thought the same thing, and I thought it was very weird. If you guys don't know, The Dark Voyager is actually inhuman. We don't have a ton of lore about him, but he's actually not a person. There is no one in this suit. He's just nobody. He is just a traveler. He's the Dark Voyager. And this suit looks almost identical to what his was back in Chapter 1, Season 3. So I don't necessarily know much lore about the Dark Voyager because there isn't very much. I don't know if there's maybe a connection. Maybe this is the same person. Maybe it's him from, the past or the future or something like that. But I do think that is something to pay attention to because Fortnite has never been subtle when it comes to different suits, masks, symbols, colors, always kind of showing that things are connected when they have the same thing. I think that's very interesting, but here is where things get absolutely wild. People actually noticed the Seven's logo inside his tech, and you may have already noticed this, but the exact little triangular symbol from their armor is just sitting right there next to those pods, and also in the next thing we see some IO stuff as well. So either Epic is straight up telling us right here, like, yeah, this dude is connected to the Seven, or this guy is a member of the Seven, just corrupted, transformed, maybe even rebuilt. As you guys know, most of the members of the Seven were consumed by the Chrome, and they weren't necessarily considered dead. They were considered to be being formed anew. So a lot of people think that we're going to be seeing a corrupted version of, the Seven, and that could be exactly who this guy is. But that raises an even bigger question of which member of the Seven is this? But this theory absolutely exploded online in terms of this being a member of the Seven. People are already convinced that the Traveler might actually be a corrupted version of the Scientist. They specifically pointed out that the helmet shape, the chest armor lines look very close to the Scientist. Of course, he's been missing, like I said, since Chapter 3's Chrome corruption, and in my opinion, this can only be one of the three people that we saw consumed by the Chrome. That is the Visitor, the Scientist, and the Origin. Now, in my opinion, I think the Origin makes so much sense, but we don't still have a clear answer on what happened to them. The paradigm is all obviously out there somewhere. We're not sure if she died due to zero fusion, but I don't think it's her because this is more of like a male body type. But if you guys don't know, the Origin was actually a member of the last reality, and more importantly, he was a Cube King. He was actually the husband of the Cube Queen, and after he saw the corruption and the terrible nature of these cubes that he was kind of running, he decided to join the Seven. And it would make a lot of sense if once the Herald consumed, all of these Seven members, including the Origin with the Chrome, that they turned him back into the Cube King, and he was taken over by the cubes. Instead of running them, the cubes ran him. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think their suit has a little bit of familiarity, but I'm not 100% sure. I think that could be very, very interesting. And seeing him potentially return like this with glowing corruption inside the helmet, that's absolutely terrifying, especially if you're considering one of the strongest things that we've seen from the last reality being the Golden Cube controlling him. People are already imagining the event where the Seven show up and instead of saving us, they backstab us because they're corrupted. And honestly, it fits everything that we've been building toward. But of course, you guys, there are other types of theories, regarding, it looks like this is going to be a Hollywood sort of season where there's actors, there's things going on. But I think the main theme of this is that going to be these actors, this Hollywood stuff is going to be covering up something darker. Obviously, it looks like he's kind of controlling this whole operation, like he's the puppet master pulling the strings. Maybe we'll have him watching us over time. We see all of these different cameras showing things going on in the map. He's kind of like Big Brother, like the government or something like that, and he's controlling them, maybe harvesting them for some reason. Who knows? Now, this one single image is already generating storyline theories bigger than entire seasons, but something earlier today came out that I really want to point out. Creators who saw Chapter 7 early literally said, nobody will guess what's coming. The madness is indescribable. Someone else said the Fortnite story in Chapter 7 is light years ahead of, get this, what it was back in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, which is insane because those two chapters are peak Fortnite lore, peak mystery, and it's absolutely insane that they said that. I hope they actually know what they're talking about. But people are already saying this could be the most lore-heavy season we've had in years. If Fortnite is dropping all of this in the first teaser, then 0 Hour is going to be absolutely ridiculous. But like I said, the KR also low-key confirms a lot of the Battle Pass lineup. Every character on those screens is positioned exactly like previous Battle Pass teasers, and I assume that's what they are. We've got the girl, of course, the bride with the yellow jacket and the sword. We've got the duo in the middle screen, looks like the action hero archetype Fortnite always has. A beach guy, or I guess a beach lion with dreadlocks, very tropical themed, of course. The girl with the purple bluish hair, her design looks a little bit important, probably a major character next season, maybe possibly connected to a new faction or something like that. But we have to talk about something else that's in the background that not many people noticed. And immediately, I didn't spot it either until I saw it. The nunchucks in the bottom right. If you guys don't know, those are literally Lego Ninjago nunchucks of lightning. The gold handles, of course, the dragon shape, everything. It's almost identical to Jay's nunchucks from the show. We've already had Fortnite X Lego Ninjago leaked before, and now it looks like they're confirmed for next month. month, maybe in the battle pass or the Lego pass or something like that. I think that's really sick that they kind of slid that in there and not many people are going to notice. I don't know if this is a weapon or a pickaxe. I think it'd be pretty sick to actually have it as a weapon. But the Traveler looks like he's monitoring different regions of the new island, which means Chapter 7 may start with some kind of global threat, maybe a system failure or something like that. The glitching screens definitely imply interference from something, possibly, this guy, maybe he's taking them over, maybe he's literally just monitoring them for whatever reason. The controls in the pod match IO style monitors and 7 style tech. It's almost like this is built from multiple factions. Maybe this guy is like a spy. Maybe he's a double or a triple agent from all of these different factions. And Fortnite captioned this, like I said, with the island has a new problem. 0 Hour is literally the event that deals with the final threat of Chapter 6. If the Traveler is watching the island fall apart, then 0 Hour is probably the moment that he either arrives or reveals himself as the puppet master pulling the strings. If he is a corrupted 7 member, the 0 Hour might be our first time seeing the 7 in years. Imagine they show up thinking they're going to save us, like I said, and then immediately turn on us. Maybe they actually help the Dark Presence or something like that. I think that would be absolutely sick. But this is the first time since Chapter 2 where the story, the map, and the characters all feel like they're building towards something massive. The Dark Presence is still out there. Of course, we haven't had the event yet. Of course, Homer is evolving in game right now, but who cares when the 7 are back? I'm so excited to see what's going on. All of these factions could be connected, but this one image already has a movie's worth of lore to talk about. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, even though there weren't a ton of visuals here. 0 Hour is only days away, so expect a massive video on that, guys. I upload every single day, and you guys do not want to miss what is going on here, especially if this video got you hyped. So drop a like on today's video. You watched all the way to the end. You must have enjoyed, so drop a like. Gotta make sure I say that for one particular guy out there. Ray, I saw you in my comments. If you guys did enjoy, please do subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I upload every single day. Use code PROZEROYT, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.